A fight that I'm excited about is Daniel Dubois vs Nathan Gorman. Two young prospects, English. Daniel Dubois, known as a powerhouse. Bit similarities to AJ, very tough, very powerful. Nathan Gorman, more similarities to Tyson Fury, trained in the Fury camp. Good slick boxer, fast hands, good movement, and both young novices in the start of their career. So it is a genuinely interesting, in my opinion, 50-50 fight. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I think Daniel Dubois has a lot in the tank, and so does Gorman. I think Frank Warren, for once, is putting on a good show. I did a video on the Bryant Jennings and Joe Joyce fight, and I'm looking forward to this fight. This fight I'm even more excited about. I think this fight's going to be good. I think it's going to be a fight that we're going to remember. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just wanted to review the fight, break it down, and give my overall prediction on who I believe is going to be victorious on July the 13th. So, you know, I like to do it. I like to break down the fighters. I like to break down the mentality of the fighters. First of all, I think I'll go through Daniel Dubois, fairly quiet and reserved, not really a talker. You really don't know what he's thinking. He's more of a silent assassin. But one thing we do know is when he gets in the ring, he does let his hands go. He likes to trade. He's powerful. He's a natural powerhouse. Bit stiff, bit robotic, but at the end of the day, so far he's got the job done. And I have seen improvements in his patience. Some fights he rushes, some fights he's got patience. Mentally, I still don't know where he's at, how his mindset is, but he seems like a determined character and a hungry fighter. Nathan Gorman mentally seems strong. Seems he's got a lot of confidence in himself, a lot of confidence in himself. He's got a lot of people backing him. That's one thing I think Gorman can take going into this fight. He's got the Furies backing him. He's got a lot of outsiders backing him. A lot of the boxing public appreciate his boxing. They appreciate his style, and they do believe that he's going to give Daniel Dubois a tough and good fight. I don't think Daniel Dubois believes that. Daniel Dubois has said in statement that this will be one of his easiest fights. Is it hype? Does he believe it? We're yet to find out, but it's definitely going to be a tough fight. It's not going to be easy. I'm expecting both guys to be physically ready, prepared, and they know that a lot is on stake. You know, who's always going to go. It's a really traditional British title, good fight. In terms of their last performances, we'll start with Daniel Dubois. His last performance was against Richard Lartey, a Ghanaian heavyweight, a bit of an unknown quantity, but had a lot of confidence going into the fight. Was very aggressive in the first few rounds, strong built. And one thing I knew about this fight is I thought that Lartey will let his hands go. It doesn't sound like he's the best technical boxer, but he seemed like he had something to prove going into the fight. And he did. In the first couple of rounds, he came forward. A lot of great exchanges in this fight. Dubois took some, looked very sloppy in this fight. I don't know if he was just enticed into getting into a scrap, but he looked a little bit sloppy in terms of technique-wise. When he got back to his technique, he was doing better against Lartey because Lartey didn't really know what to do. He wanted it to be a bit of a brawl. In round 3, there was a great combination. A great combination trade-off between the two, and it looked like Daniel Dubois got a little bit buzzed, turned his back, kind of wobbled back, but kept his composure. Momentarily a bit buzzed, but he came back, and in the 4th round he kept the pressure up and eventually clipped Lartey, and he couldn't recover from it, and ultimately got stopped in the 4th. So I saw a lot of critics on this fight on Dubois' side. I thought he showed that he is a young star. He's a bit reckless. But again, it is good to show and do these things in fights that are not that important. Okay, you can have a banana skin, but I did always believe watching that fight that he had a little bit more in the engine than Lartey did and proved it. And it's good he makes his mistakes against not powerful punches, because if he does it against powerful punches like a Joe Joyce or other fighters, he can get hurt badly. In terms of Nathan Gorman's last fight, was against Kevin Kingpin Johnson, wily heavy veteran, who again fought Dubois as well. I'm not really into comparing because styles make fights, and Gorman's one was a bit of a last minute one, so I can only go and assess how he does in his last fight going into this fight. And he didn't look amazing against Gorman, I can be honest. You know, he didn't look that good. It was a bit of a dry, dull fight to watch compared to the Dubois fight. Probably I thought about Gorman just seemed one pace during the whole fight. He didn't seem like he was changing up his variety. He had a good jab, but it wasn't powerful enough. He just seemed like he was content with going the distance and just moving around and getting some. It just felt like he just getting himself warmed up and getting himself ready. It didn't seem like he had that hunger in terms of getting Kevin Johnson out. He did walk onto a few right hands that had no power on them, because Johnson is about as tired as a tired little dog. I mean, Johnson is way past it. He wasn't in particularly good shape to be going 10 rounds anyway. But yeah, good combinations. He kept the pace, I suppose. And I think what he failed to do is to get Kingpin Johnson out. He's a masterclass defense. He's good at riding the punch. He's good at moving. He's good at making things awkward. You've got to be creative in terms of taking Johnson out. The reason why guys like Vatani, Gorman, Dubois, and Derek Chisora couldn't get Johnson out is because they weren't creative enough. You know, Anthony Joshua hit him with punches that were in different angles. He moved around. He really put it on him and didn't give him any space to breathe, which is why he got him out so quick. So you've got to do that against Kevin Johnson. But then again, assessing Nathan Gorman, he got the job done, and he didn't look explosive. He didn't look that quick, but he did what he needed to do and kept it in good fashion and showed his maturity to just pick off and make the fight easy. Not the best to watch, but that's what we got to do. It's heavyweight boxing. In terms of roads to victory for both fighters, Daniel Dubois, he needs to start fast. I've always said this. He is a powerhouse, and if you've got the power to intimidate and hurt somebody, you've got to start fast. You've got to let them know that you are dangerous and that you will hurt them. And the best way of him intimidating Nathan Gorman or getting him on the back foot and pushing him back is to throw a good right hand straight down the pipe and just get him awake, and let's get this fight on the road, get it started. He needs to take center in the ring. He needs to be the one dictating the pace, dictating the punches. Gorman is a guy that can adjust and move around and be awkward, so Dubois has got to keep his hands up. He's got to keep that jab going, and he's got to keep pushing Gorman back and looking for the opportunities to get him out. Like I said, use the power and try and intimidate Gorman. That is the main thing. When you're a powerhouse, you've got to make sure that if your opponent hasn't felt your kind of power, you've got to make them feel it. And he's got to get in the inside and hit the body and hit uppercuts and right hooks to really put some fear in Gorman's eyes. Obviously, the right hand will be a big asset for Gorman. For Daniel Dubois. The right hand will be his main attribute and his main focus in trying to land it. And obviously, coming from the jab, he needs to make sure that he uses that right hand and gets it from the jab, and really focuses on the 1-2s with Nathan Gorman. In terms of Nathan Gorman, the road to victory, he needs movement. I think Daniel Dubois is a stiff opponent, and anybody that has a little bit of movement and a little bit of bounce in their feet and can punch with their movement will give him trouble. I think Gorman, he's a big guy himself, but he's more tailored to the movement, is more in his game, and I think he should use that early on. Move around, stick a jab, keep it moving, make Daniel miss, make him get tired. Because the more Daniel loads up and misses, the more that is an opportunity for Nathan Gorman to tee off and hit his own bits. Another point I would say is to try and come forward. If he fights on the back foot and is a bit too defensive, Daniel Dubois will try and push to literally drain the life out of Gorman and eventually stop him. So I feel like Gorman has to do something that Dubois is not expecting. He needs to come forward, let his hands go, and he's got to test Dubois' chin. We've seen him get hit, but he's got to come forward. He can't move around and be trying to evade punches all night. He's got to put it on Dubois and come forward. I think that's one of his best options, and I don't think Dubois is going to see that coming if he does come forward. Combinations will always help. Nathan Gorman has said he's the faster fighter. I think he might be the faster fighter. It depends. He's definitely more elusive with his punches. So, Gorman can hit him with combinations while he's moving on his feet and slow him down because Dubois has good stamina. So, Gorman will want to be slowing the pace down and taking his control. Frustrate Dubois. You know, one thing about when you're a powerhouse is if you keep missing and you keep frustrating your opponent, mentally they may cave in. And you yourself could start teeing off on them and putting the fear and putting the doubt in their mind that they can't hit you and they can't catch you. So this fight could be inevitable. So Gorman's got to try and do that. Double jab, I think he just got a double jab, keep the centre stage. Keep a good distance. I think Dubois will be stronger in the inside, I believe. So Gorman's got to keep it at a distance and really just pick off shots. And when he sees an opportunity, land a few big shots and keep moving around the ring and just testing Dubois' boxing IQ, making him move, making him work to even get close to Gorman. Head movement, Dubois is going to be throwing some bombs, so Gorman's going to have to keep moving his head, keep evading it. He's been okay with his punch resistance, Gorman, but again, he hasn't been hit with anybody as enough power as Dubois does. So, yeah, you know, don't be surprised if Gorman gets clipped being silly or making a mistake. But I do believe that he should use his head and avoid some punches that Dubois does throw. Because Dubois throws quite stationary punches that you can see. So if you are alert and focused, you can avoid them in the ring. And yeah, you know, it's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Two young, undefeated British fighters putting it all on the line. You know, you can't really complain. I think it's going to be a very good fight. I think it's going to be a bit of a chess match because I feel like there's going to be elements where Dubois will revert to his brawling style, and there'll be elements where Gorman may slip up and get himself hurt. So I feel like it's going to be a fight that's going to have a bit of everything in it. Ultimately, I do believe this is going to go the distance. It's an interesting one because I feel like both fighters are going to incorporate a style where they suss someone out and they suss each other out to see who's going to make the mistake first and go for it. I think it's going to be fireworks, but I do believe that it will go 12 rounds. Yeah, there may be some knockdowns, maybe someone might get dropped, who knows, but because of what's at stake, I feel like it's not going to be a powerhouse that many people think. I don't think Dubois is going to burn him out. I think Dubois is going to try and box a little bit, box fight, and mix it up a bit, and I think Gorman is going to try and move, frustrate, and maybe make Dubois miss and evade some punches. So I think it's going to be a long fight. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think it's going to be a good fight to see which one of these has improved the most since they're sparring, since they were sparring partners. Ultimately, I believe Daniel Dubois will nick it on points. I think it will be a close fight. And I just feel like he may have a little bit more of the engine at the end. I mean, I know Gorman's going to come in great shape, but I just feel like, you know, maybe Dubois might hurt Gorman in the fight and slow Gorman's pace down, and Gorman may just opt to just try and box safe. And I feel like if that does happen, Dubois will nick it on points. You know, I can see a close points win. You know, two things were in my mind. Two things were Dubois late stoppage or Dubois points, but I'm going to go with Dubois points because I saw a little bit of a clip of him training with Frank Bruno, and Frank was saying, incorporating that he believes that Dubois is going to be something special, but he needs to be patient and learn to just let the knockout come and pick the shots because he'll do better, and he can see. And I agree. I think if Dubois slows himself down and starts to jab to the body, break Gorman down, move about, and maybe near the end pile the pressure if he's got some energy, he can possibly get the late stoppage. But I just feel like Gorman is a tough guy, and I think he's ready for what Dubois is going to bring. I think he knows that Dubois is a powerful guy, and he needs to be smart, and I feel like he will be smart. But ultimately, I think Dubois will be more aggressive for him throughout the 12 rounds and nick the decision. But let me know what you guys think about this fight. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it's one of the most exciting fights I'm looking forward to so far this month. So yeah, let me know who you guys think is going to win, and like and subscribe. I'm out.